and welcome to step 10 of Marketing in Your Strengths. And this session is called Keep Writing, Author. Your message matters. And I hope that I see a lot of you are joining me. Thank you for those of you who think I was late. I actually did session 9. Before I did session 10, since I missed that the other day because I did not have internet. And so if you need to go back, you can just click on that link and it's available as soon as I record it, which means it's available right now. So go ahead and hop onto there. And I just want to offer you, with this very last session of Marketing Your Strengths, just some encouragement. So we have with us Miss Ann Griffith, who comes to all of our trainings, and we love Ann so much. Oh, is Shelly putting that up? Shelly, thank you. I'll let you go ahead and do the chat since you are there. That'd be awesome. We have Debbie Ashley with us, and Shirley Lekadu is new to our group, as well as Gail Porter. Welcome, and we are glad that you are here and joining us at Book Marketing Pro Academy. We have a new series coming up in the next week. Actually, I start it tomorrow. Sarah and I are going to tag team teach that one. It's all about launching your book. So be sure to join us. So here we go. I'm going to just give you a little encouragement as we end out this series, Marketing in Your Strengths. And remember, all the videos can be found in the platform, our course platform that you have access to, as well as in our Facebook group. If you just go back and find the links, you can click and watch them there as well. So as an author, marketing may feel like a full-time job, especially when our book is more than our hobby. And it really is, because it's part of our calling. But here's the truth. The work of sharing your message is worth it. Not just because we want sales or we want followers, but because of the deeper impact it can have on those who need it most. So as you market your book, remember, choose methods that resonate with who you are. Align your efforts the way that you are wired, the way God gifted you. When you enjoy the process of marketing your book, your energy flows through your work and you will see such a greater impact. You leave the task energized and not defeated. And that doesn't mean that you don't avoid challenges and you don't step into things that are more challenging for you to accomplish, but you approach them all with purpose. So your writing and marketing are very crucial. Think of the miracle in Luke 9. It's the only one that is in all 4 Gospels. So put yourself in the shoes of the disciples that are returning to tell Jesus everything they had done. They are excited. They are exhausted. They were just sent out and they were healing people and they were doing all these amazing miracles. And Jesus welcomes them back. And he didn't only welcome their stories, but he also welcomed the weariness that they came back with. And so he says to them, come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. Well, as they are going to get some rest, we know that we need it as well. We know that exhaustion comes with all the work that we do after years of writing, publishing, launching our book. It can sometimes be overwhelming, and we wonder if we're going to have anything left to give. Still, as they are going to rest, more people show up. And they show up hungry for what we've poured out and hungry for what Jesus could offer them. They are seeking hope, and sometimes we are that person that is there to offer it to them. So like the disciples faced with thousands of people to feed with only the small boy's lunch, as we read in Luke 9, you may feel the weight of it in your day. And you may be thinking, well, with my book, how can I market it? I only have a very small study group. I only have one message that I can actually speak on. I only have a handful of emails for my email newsletter. I only have, and if you want, and you're brave enough, go ahead and put that in the chat. What's something that you look at in your own platform and you're like, but God, I only have, what is the only? You know what Jesus does is he takes our only and he multiplies it. With him, the little you think you have can feed the hearts and the souls and the lives of so many people. Just as the 5 loaves and the 2 fish became more than enough, he will take what you offer and he will bless it in ways beyond what you can imagine. I've seen it not only in my own life, because I started writing for a very small group of women in my local church. And then it grew to an association, and my women's ministry that God allowed me to lead continued to grow. And I had regional opportunities, and eventually God opened doors for me to publish my books and to teach and to speak across the United States and even globally when you look at the online reach. And it all began when I was obedient with the small only that I had in my hands. And here's the beautiful part. When the thousands of people were fed on that hillside that day, there were 12 baskets left over, one for each disciple. With every act of faithfulness, God provides abundance, not just for those you serve, but also for you. I love that they went, the disciples went to Jesus with such a small amount of food from the little boy's lunch. And then he allowed them to walk the field with all of those people sitting there with the weight of the food in the baskets. They carried them around, and they felt that this little amount became something so much bigger. And then when they collected all the leftovers, again, they felt the weight, the abundance of what God offers us. Your writing matters because your message matters. Your marketing efforts matter because people need to hear your story. They need to read your book. Our world is so desperate for hope. We've talked about in our last industry update how Christian books are on the rise 8% in the last year. That means people are moving out of the secular world and looking for something that offers them so much more. They're looking for answers to their brokenness, they're not just temporary solution. They want to find something that only Christ will provide for them. And your book is part of his plan, and it will point them to him. Now, I know I've told this story before, and I love it so much. And so if you have heard it, just bear with me. But if you haven't, may it encourage you, because there is a story about an old man who used to go to the ocean to do his writing. And he had this habit of walking on the beach every morning before he began his work. Early one morning, when he was walking along the shore after a big storm had passed, he found the vast beach was littered with starfish as far as the eyes could see, stretching in both directions. Off in the distance, the old man noticed a small boy approaching. As the boy walked, he paused every so often, and as he grew closer, the man could see that he was occasionally bending down to pick up an object and throw it into the sea. The boy came closer still, and the man called out, "Good morning. May I ask what you're doing?" The young boy paused, looked up, and replied, "Throwing starfish into the ocean. The tide has washed them up onto the beach, and they can't return to the sea by themselves." The youth replied, "When the sun gets high, they will die unless I throw them back into the water." The old man replied, "But there must be tens of thousands of starfish on this beach. I'm afraid you won't really be able to make much of a difference." The little boy bent down, picked up yet another starfish, and threw it as far as he could into the ocean. He turned to the man and smiled. It made a difference to that one. So who is God calling you to toss into the ocean of his truth? Who needs the message that you have written? Don't underestimate your impact. Your writing has the power, along with the Holy Spirit, to change lives one reader at a time. When the work feels heavy, remember this: God doesn't ask you to multiply. He asks you to bring your only, no matter how small it seems. So trust him to handle the rest. Keep writing, keep sharing. The time is now, and the hope your message carries could make all the difference in someone's life. So keep going, keep marketing, find your lane, find that place where you are so energized when you step into it to market your book and to reach your audience, because the gospel matters. And you may just be the one to bring the gospel to that starfish who needs to be thrown back into the ocean. So I hope that encourages you today as we finish out this series, Marketing in Your Strengths. If you have not yet watched this series, it is going to walk you through how to determine where your strengths lie and what kinds of ways you can utilize different platforms and different marketing areas to step into those. And then how do you take that area and work backwards to get to the place where you can actually use it and leverage it for your book? So thank you for being part of this series. I cannot wait till our next series. We have so many of you in the Academy that are going to be launching books this next year, and we want to help you and give you the tools you need. So whether you are launching a print book, you are launching an audiobook, an ebook, whatever it is, we are here to work through those resources. So starting Friday, which would be February, I don't know, whatever tomorrow is, we are going to enter into marketing your book and launching it well. So thank you so much for being with us today. Thanks, Shelly, for helping me out in the chat. That's huge. I love having some of our new Academy members here like Gail and Shirley. So thanks for coming, and I look forward to seeing you on the next side of our session. And then we're going to have some live coaching with it too. So that'll be really fun. Thanks for joining me.